it's time to adjust those shoulder pads, back comb what's left of your hair, and jump into the DeLorean for a look back at what's possibly the best decade anyone could ever have grown up in.
Shall we play a game?
This is Bring Back the 80s with your hosts James Alderson and me, Andy Jackson.
Well, that is a good start, isn't it? Thank you very much indeed.
It's definitely started.
Welcome to the Bring Back the 80s podcast before a live studio audience. Thank you, everybody. We never thought that we'd have anybody come, so thank you very much for coming indeed.
There's a lot of old people.
Yes. If you need, can we just say, by the way,
we're two of them.
If you need a wee, feel free, because we're at that stage.
For 10 minutes, so I think they're probably ready. But yeah.
So bits and bobs going on. If you want to join in and shout out, put your hand up as well, like you're at school, so feel free to do that. We are filming, so if you're here with somebody that you're not supposed to be with, let us know afterwards, and we'll make sure that we pixelate you out so that you can't be seen.
Or if you are here but tomorrow you forgot where you were last night, then you will be able to check in and see on the podcast where you were. So it's always good with memories of ours.
Definitely. We were just wondering, because we're not quite sure who's here because they've seen James in the stand-up comedy, and who's here because they've seen the podcast, because we know that there's a few people who have bought tickets but have never seen the podcast. So can you just let us know, is there anybody here who has never seen the podcast?
Oh shit.
Right.
Okay.
So perhaps we need to explain a little bit.
We've
about
now got 2 years worth of podcast showing you on the screen, so you can see what's happening.
So we're on series 3.
Yeah.
This is episode number 9.
9 or 10.
So we've been doing this for just over a year.
Yeah.
It started off just as a bit of fun when James came into what was the old Wave 105. Yeah. I think we now know where people are from. It started off. It was a Mission Christmas thing. You came in to do a quiz, and you said it was a music quiz. You said, I don't know anything about music.
Yeah.
And then, hey ho, it all happened. So that's how we met. And then I think at the end of that, I said, this was quite fun. Shall we do a podcast?
Yeah.
And then we've ended up doing this podcast. And before we know it, we're here in heaven,
in a room full of people who've never fucking seen it. Yeah, so exactly. it's absolutely brilliant. So pleased we put in so much effort in this.
So we know how many people have never seen the podcast. How many people have
seen it?
How many people have been to see James and his stand-up comedy?
Oh, that's the same people who've never watched a podcast. That's great, isn't it? It's just like, I'll watch him, but I'm not watching him on a screen.
So I think at this point then, as so many people have never seen the podcast, never been to any of your comedy shows, if you're easily offended, it might be a good idea to leave now, just in case, because we are going back to the 80s, and what was happening in the 80s was normal. So we look back with a wry smile, I think it's fair to say, and what was in the 80s was in the 80s, because the great thing about the 80s was there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it this week, so there was no evidence, so there was no there was nobody could say, well, he said that in 1985, because you might have said it, but nobody has got the proof that you said it.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So that's good.
Should we pull a cracker first, mate?
Shall we do that first?
We've got to get the Christmas started. You pull mine.
All right, here we go.
All right, and I'll pull yours. That's how it should be at Christmas.
Oh, look at
shit.
That.
That is our age, mate.
Made in China.
Never works, does it? Do you want to grab the one and do it back? You selfish bastard. He's got his hat. He's fine. Go on. Was yours going to... Oh, hey. At your age, it's still working. Thank you, mate. We'll have that. I'll have the hat, and I'll have a... Oh, it's got a puzzle. Has it got a joke in there? Because I could do with some of them. Let's have a look. How does Santa Claus keep track of every fireplace he has already visited? He keeps a log. Okay, very good. Lovely. I'm going to put this on. Have you got one?
I have, actually.
To hold it for you?
Yes, no, I need to hold it out like that, so they're far away. What do you call a man who claps at Christmas? Santa Claus.
Oh, okay.
Santa Claus.
I'm not sure what's happened here.
I don't even know if I've got a thing in here.
I don't even think it's going to fit my fat head.
Yeah, look at this. I've got one now.
See if it'll fit on yours. You've got a smaller head than me, I think, mate, and slightly smoother.
I've certainly got a shinier head than you, James. Right, so just to explain what's going to go on in here, for those who've never seen the podcast, what we tend to do is we always pick a theme for each podcast. Surprise, surprise, the theme of this one is Christmas.
Yeah.
And we play you some adverts that were on the telly back in the 80s. We'll play you some clips of films as well. In fact... Is that on straight?
It's doing it for me.
In fact, yeah. It's okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sexy.
So we got some. We've compiled the list of the top 10 movies.
Okay, yeah,
as well at some stage. So we'll get to that in a couple of seconds. Christmas movies, Christmas movies of all time. You might want to reorder them, so feel free to do that. But first of all, just to kind of whet your appetite as to what was going on, here is our first TV advert from the 1980s. Watch, listen, and look at the prices and the people.
Christmas shopping spree. Woolworth prices, many of them priced down.
Shout out the names if you know who they are. So nice screw for Christmas.
What was his name? I can't remember.
He was off of it 8.5 Hot Mum, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Don Estelle, that's the one. Well done. Anita thingy.
Yeah, she does the King's Panto.
Harris, yes.
Oh,
Woolworth
great.
and Walco. How about that?
It's good, isn't it?
So
there we go. You wouldn't get famous people in the adverts these days, would you? Like Ed Sheeran crop up or something on a Woolies advert.
Ed Sheeran on the well, not that there will be a Woolworths advert, but
what?
But yeah, Aldi, I suppose so. Yeah, but of course, a lot of them now. I guess all those people, if it was now, would be on TikTok, and they'd all be doing their own sort of TikTok things, and they wouldn't be called entertainers. They'd be called content creators.
Would they?
Wouldn't they now? Yeah,
okay.
Because that's what we are.
Is it? Okay.
Apparently so. So right, for everybody who hasn't seen the podcast, every week we do a mystery sound. So we take a sound from the 80s. Might be the sound of a piece of machinery. It might be the sound of a piece of technology, or it might be a bit of music. We'll give you a little clip from.
Yep.
So we have last week's. We got the prize winner as well, who might be here. Have we got a Jane Young in the audience? There's no Jane Young. No. Deafening silence. But this was our mystery sound. You're welcome to see if you can shout out what it is as well.
Away, won't they?
They will see it straight away because it's not hidden.
It's a mystery sound of the 80s. It's the mystery sound of the 80s.
Shout out what it is.
It's nice, isn't it, to see a police person?
At least we don't see them very often anymore,
even if it's on screen.
This is the new one.
But there was a lady next to him. I definitely saw a lady in a police uniform.
So yes, that was the new one. There's a little tiny bit for this one. Tape recorder.
Okay. Possible. I don't think so.
It could be. So what we're going to do, we're going to reveal the answer in the second half.
Yeah.
But I will say...
no idea.
That it could be, but
could be a tape recorder.
It could be a tape recorder. Maybe
in the second half, because we're going to do one episode now, a little break, and then another episode. So
this is another thing that we need to explain because we're doing this in two halves.
Yeah,
because this is episode 9.
Yep.
Then there'll be a break, so we can all go out and have a wee and a drink and whatever, and then we come back and do the next episode.
Yep,
as if by magic.
Yep.
So so we got a prize as well, haven't we, on offer?
Yeah, well, we can give someone a T-shirt if they want one.
If you really want one, bring back the 80s T-shirts.
I've got them in middle-aged sizes. It's double XL and XL, so no triple XL. So don't guess if you're large, but it's or at least don't get it right. Yeah. Do you want? Can I give you some of my Christmas gifts? Because I know you've got a gift on that side. Do you want to do that now?
Do you want to exchange gifts now?
Yeah.
Do you think it's too early or
no? It's never too early.
Okay, James, I'll take your gift.
Oh, you'll take mine.
Are we going to exchange?
Well, I'll give you one.
Okay, so to speak.
Because I know that you're an idiot, and you've gone teetotal Christmas. So that is the first one.
It sounds liquidy, James.
It is. I've worked hard on that. Sorry, it didn't sound right, did it? So have a little look.
Too much.
You can have that during the show.
Oh my God! Look at this. Yeah. Look at this, everybody. Come on now. Umbongo!
I've searched far and wide for that. You can't get it in the little... I used to have little cartons for school.
You used to get like a little one you put in the lunchbox.
You can only get the big ones. And it makes me laugh because there's a lot of hubbub going on about the Boots advert because there's a black lady in it and people are saying that it's not right or something. And I just think, Jesus, we couldn't watch bloody Umbongo advert, Vitalite, Kiora, none of those. But yeah, really iconic adverts. But yeah, and I've got your cup. I've got your cup. So you can pour yourself some Umbongo, mate. There we go.
Asking for disaster. This isn't.
I've got another present here as well. I'll give you this.
Okay, I'm going to give you one in a second, James.
Oh, thank you.
This has got a childproof lock, hasn't it?
Yes. You have to subscribe.
OnlyFans. Well, let's have a little taste test on this.
Go on in, taste it. Do you remember what Umbongo tasted like?
Of course I remember what Umbongo tasted like. It tasted like pure sugar.
Well, it was a guava and a mango and a...
That's pretty decent, actually. Yeah. Yes, I will take that as well.
You like that? Okay,
I can feel the diabetes coming on.
I just want to let you know, I spilt some beer on that. I wasn't... Yeah.
Oh, that is a sticky old one, James, isn't it?
So you can open that one. And that's another couple of little silly bits in there.
Jeez, I feel really bad, James.
Can you just take it easy? There's valuable things in there. You're ripping away at it.
I feel really bad that I've only got one thing for you, James.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think you're going to like it.
Thank you. Now, in here, what we used to get, or what my mum used to get every Christmas, very important, was a tea towel with the year's calendar on it. All right. So I've got you that. So if you ever go to Canada in 1985. You can drape it over the oven. It'll catch fire at various times throughout the year, and that's for you. Now this one, this little annual here, I know it's your sort of thing.
Oh my God!
It's an annual of Diana, not
Princess Diana,
but Diana.
Diana for girls.
For girls. I just want to draw your attention to a page in there that I know you're going to love. I think it's page 104. If you have a little look in that, thumb your way through it.
104?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm up to 103, 104.
Oh, no. Maybe it's the next page. Turn again.
105.
No. It's the next one.
Oh my God. Okay, right. Ladies and gentlemen, At Home with Jimmy Savile.
Can you just read what his T-shirt says?
Oh my God, his T-shirt. So he's sitting in his chair, very much like this.
Hi.
Across his T-shirt. It might be the same one. Yeah. He's got his cigar. Tease me. No.
It's a pun because obviously it's a cup of tea. He loves tea, but it's not obviously because he's. Anyway, Jimmy, yeah, it's a lovely little memento.
It is. He's doing the hoovering. Can I just quote from the first bit of this?
Yeah.
Jimmy Savile, OBE,
of course,
is always on the move.
Yes.
Never spending long in one place.
No.
Because his work takes him all over the country. It's impossible for him to settle down permanently in one house.
Yeah.
That's why Jimmy has lots of houses.
Honest gov.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So there we go.
A
little couple of things. You can give me mine later if you want, and we can crack on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll pad it out.
I feel really bad, James, that I've only got you the one thing, but there's been a lot of thought.
Okay, well, that's good.
That's gone into it. A lot of thought that's gone into it.
Thank you.
So we've done the mystery sound, and I mentioned earlier on that we're doing the top 10 Christmas movies. Now, I sent you a little text message, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And I said, "Can you tell me your top 10 movies?" This is how the text went. Can you give me your top 10 movies of the 80s, please, James? And James.
Now I have a machine gun. I've got it on my T-shirt. Epic film. Of course, it's Christmas.
So wait and see if you can guess what James's favourite film in the top 10 of films is.
It's definitely in there. Definitely in there.
So but shall we go straight in with the movies now? Do your first little clip as well.
Yeah, go for it.
So what we've done is we've got the trailers for each of these movies. So we've condensed them into about a minute or so, but it should bring back the memories. And I'm going to be honest, James. I'm going to say that I find this an interesting choice of Christmas movie. Okay, see if you agree with me. Is this even a Christmas movie? At number 10,
Parris Island, South Carolina, the United States Marine Corps Recruit Depot, an 8-week college for the phony tough and the crazy brave.
That is not your daddy's shotgun, cowboy.
Most of you will go to Vietnam. Some of you will not come back.
Cowboy.
Sir, yes, sir.
On 300, infantry.
Would you love your country?
Yes, sir.
Why don't you jump on the team and come on in for the big win?
I'm squad leader.
Falling anywhere, scumbag.
I need help.
I'm trying to help you, Leonard.
We're not leaving Doc J&E ball out there.
Are those live rounds?
7.62 millimeter. Full metal jacket.
I'm feeling all festive.
Is it just me?
No, there's a lot of green and red in that film. I've got to be honest, Andy. We did this last Christmas episodes, and you came up with some absolute bollocks for Christmas film suggestions, and I was like, "That's not a Christmas film."
James, that's not a Christmas movie.
That is. It makes you feel all cozy and ready to open the gifts with your kids.
Was it even? Was it actually out at Christmas?
Yeah,
it was a December movie.
I think there's a little festive bit in there somewhere. I think as they carry the soldiers back to their wives.
Just the oddest choice. But anyway, in at number 10 is that one. So
it's actually quite tricky when you actually focus it just on that decade to see Christmas films, because there was a lot of shite that we don't really remember. I mean, we remember obviously some of the ones higher up the list, definitely. But when you actually try and search through the films that were out in those 9-10 years, it's a slim pickings, mate.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay. Well, let's see if the theme continues or not.
Go on in.
As we move to Christmas movie number 9.
Oh,
here we go.
Today, the Soviet Union has officially entered professional boxing.
This is not just an exhibition fight. Look, this is us against them.
Drago is the most perfectly trained athlete ever. Whatever he hits, he destroys.
He could have stopped the fight. He could have saved his best friend's life.
I'll never forget you, Apollo.
But now, the one thing he can't do is walk away.
Has the fight date been set yet?
December 25th.
Where?
It's in Russia.
Are you nuts?
Rocky 4.
See? Shouldn't have been December 25th, should it? Should have been December 26th, really. Because that's...
Boxing Day. Oh, James, well done.
Thank you. It's my career.
This is why James does his job and I do mine.
Oh,
but can I just say again, it's not for me. I've never thought, let's have a cozy Christmas and watch Rocky 4.
Beat the shit out of people.
Never ever thought that.
Well, I think the thing is I watched Airplane 2 the other day, which is bloody brilliant. It's the one where they do fly to the moon or something. I don't know what's going on. But in the background of the advert for the future, it says Rocky 47 or something. Right. And that was from 1982. And I didn't realise I got through the Rocky film so quickly. Because that Rocky 4, that was in the early 80s, wasn't it? Yeah.
I don't remember the Rocky. I don't remember which one's which. They all kind of blur into one, don't they?
Yeah. Well, he does.
Definitely.
Just by the end of it.
But at the time, we talked about this the other day, is when you would go to see a movie like that in the cinema, you would go to see it because there was no Netflix, there was no Amazon Prime, and you would go into the smoky cinema, wouldn't you, to go and you'd sit once. It'd be like in here, if half of you were smoking, you'd be on that side. Those would be the no smoking seats over there. Yeah. But in practice, not a slight jot of difference.
No, not really. No. And you could see the light beam coming from the camera at the back, couldn't you, through the smoke. Yeah.
Well, this is why they had to bring in dry ice, isn't it? Because now you don't get that. You don't get that foggy effect.
No.
So they blow in the smoke to give that effect
mystical
without giving you the
effect.
cancer.
Yeah, I have that in the bedroom. It's just a bit of magic coming through as I walk out of the bathroom for the wife. It's like a bit of dry ice. Have you farted? No. This is all part of the magic, love. Don't you worry.
But it was
Where are you?
Is it you? But it was a totally different experience going to the cinema as well, because you would have sometimes you'd have two movies as well. You'd have like the first one, and then you'd have a break, and then you'd have another one as well. And they don't tend to don't tend to do that anymore. But it seemed to be, it was a bit more of an occasion as well, wasn't it, to go to the movies?
Sometimes it feels like it's two movies though, because halfway through I have to get up for a wee, and I come back and the whole film's changed. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I have to ask kids what's going on, and they say, shut up, because you're not allowed to.
What they've done is, has anybody been into the big Cinemax Deluxe thing in Southampton or West Quay? Has anybody been into that luxury cinema?
No,
literally no one. But the thing is, what they've done is they've put in reclining seats.
Oh yeah,
with little electric things that go up and down.
Yeah.
And the first time I went into that, I was just so blown away by having nicer seats in the cinema than I've got in my house. I just spent the whole time going up and down,
pissing everyone off. Yeah,
obviously pissing. But again, when you get to a certain age, if you recline to that, it's not long before you're dozing off and you're
waste of 10 quid,
and
mate.
you're gone. Yeah,
spill your popcorn. It's all gone.
They do a very fancy thing up there. They let you take your drinks in, a bit like this. They let you take your alcohol into the cinema
seats.
and recline. It's a recipe for absolute disaster.
They know that you're going to miss it and have to buy another ticket, mate.
Yes,
I missed the whole bloody film. Back next week, cha-ching.
But no, it was definitely more of a. I think it was more of an occasion to go. It'd be something you would again. You would have to save up to go to the cinema because I think we were all a bit skinter back in the 80s.
I don't know, but the seats weren't as bloody comfy.
They've definitely weren't as comfy.
The springs had all gone, and that velvet was. And you were sat like that, weren't you? And there was a little ashtray there in the corner of the wooden seat in front of you. Yeah, and then as the curtains closed, they beamed that Butterkist advert onto it as the curtains were closing, and then the woman walked down with the tray of ice creams. Bless her.
And you got that advert as well. There would always be a local curry house as well.
Of course.
Go to the
Raj.
Yes. And it would always be. It would just be like a random curry house. Always. But very strange times. But yes.
Can I show you why? I've got a Radio Times from 1987 here, from Christmas, and it's got a lovely scene here of Christmas at Albert Square with various people I don't remember. But
surely Dirty Den's in there.
He's not on the front cover, mate. Oh, he's a troublemaker by this point, wasn't he? No, it was what's her name? One of the Fowlers. And then, is that Michelle Fowler? Was that her name? I think. And then there's kids there. And then Lou, that's it, Lou in the background. And a classic Christmas tree with tinsel on, unlike these. That's pitiful, isn't it? It was just quite swish, Andy. I'm quite jealous.
Might I spend a lot of time putting that together, James?
Obviously, we've got a Butlins advert on the back here. You can double glaze your windows in 12 minutes, apparently. And Photo Post Express. You can get 50p off your bigger colour prints there, mate. So if you want to send off 24 exposures for £1.59, look at that. Magic. Well,
that was another thing as well, because now we're all quite happily we're all taking hundreds of photos, we're all taking loads of movies, none of which we will ever probably look at ever again.
No.
But back then you'd have to choose your 24 exposures very, very carefully, and you would think carefully because you'd get to the end of the film, and then of course you didn't know what you got until it came back, and you could pay your extra money and have it back within 24 hours.
Could you?
Or you could post it off and it would come back slow in 7 days.
Oh.
Either way, quite often they'd come back and they'd have the little stickers on them that says overexposed
or please don't get your cock out. You have to go back in disguise to Boots.
If the thing is, though, can you imagine, like now, just for a data protection kind of thing, there was somebody who would be checking every single, because it will be done by hand.
Yeah.
Somebody will be looking at every single one of your photos.
Yeah.
Looking at your photos, and if they thought they were a bit too saucy, so you can't have that one, mate.
No, we're keeping it. Yeah.
No.
There's a back room here in Boots.
They probably did. They probably
got
did.
Walls covered and splattered with, not splattered.
James, you paint a picture.
Magic, that
is not to be painted.
I've got your Woman's Weekly here, mate, because I know you're into your feminine side. Woman's Weekly here from 1983, which gives you 6 pages of mouth-watering recipes.
Okay, what have we got for Christmas?
Well, you got turkey and stuffing on this page, and
is Delia in there? Was Delia a thing then?
She probably was, but hang about. We've got what's her face, Diana Dawes. Is that
Diana
her?
Dawes?
Maybe she's got some sort of food blender there. Maybe She's
Let me see, James. Let me see.
I don't know if it is her, but I think it is.
Is that Diana Dawes?
Is it?
How can you people see that far?
That's the best distance for them to see it. So hold it back here.
That's why I own an Iona, says Diana Dawes.
Food blender.
She's actually signed that. And I own a blender. 2-year guarantee. Now, okay, interesting. So this is a blender. You can see the blender.
Interesting.
Interesting. How much would you think, bear in mind this was 1983, how much for this Iona blender? Just call out a number. How much?
Come on down. The price is
this £55.
Yeah, I know.
55
for 1983, 40 years ago.
Somebody very clever will be able to work that out instantly.
Four and a half times from that sort of era.
Yeah.
So you're looking at about 250 quid there.
250 quid.
For a shitty blender.
For a shitty blender. But it has been endorsed and caressed by Diana Dawes.
Rubbed up against her for that price. But I'll have a little flick through. I couldn't find any food, mate, but they have some. It does say there's 6 recipes, but lots of stuff going on.
Interesting where you can get this from. I say interesting. It might not be interesting at all. You can get this at Boots. So Boots, do Boots still sell electrical items?
Big Boots.
They do. Okay, Big Boots do. So you get it at Boots. You can get it at Argos back in 1983.
Yeah.
And also Apollo Electrical Centres. Ooh,
I don't even remember.
Not a clue, mate.
Was that pre-Dixon's maybe as well, early 80s? I don't know.
So and other good department stores and electrical shops.
Yeah.
So that would have been places like Debenhams when Debenhams was a thing. You could have gone to Debenhams. Can somebody tell me how is John Lewis managing to hang on in there with the same model, just hanging on
it's
in
all
there?
The rich ones, isn't it?
Yes,
they like doing that.
It's like a little
John Lewis and Waitrose.
Oh, yes, when you go into West Quay, and you go into John Lewis, it's like a little oasis of calm.
I know.
In there.
It's like a spa, isn't it?
It's like people are going in there. Obviously, I was just passing through. But the people
looking for the toilets
from the car park, the people in there, they've got garden pods and things that start at £26,000.
Yeah, it's mental, isn't it? I thought I was going to Waitrose when I fancy spending £5 on a cucumber, just so I got a bit of money to splash. I just go on.
I love the fact that Waitrose's idea of Waitrose essentials is very different to normal essentials.
What's essential for quinoa?
Quinoa is definitely essential in Waitrose and
paper doilies.
Yeah, you got to have all the za'atar spices and things. That's all essential things.
Do you get that at the Raj?
You probably do.
I don't know what that is, mate, but yeah.
But Waitrose and the department stores hanging on in there. Do you want me to? Shall we exchange gifts? You want to see what I've got?
Give me yours if you want. Yeah,
you want to do this? Because a lot of thought has gone into this. You got no more for me.
No more for you.
No for me.
No.
What are we going to do in the second half with no more gifts?
Okay. Well, I don't know.
I've already stuck my finger through this. So
what is it? A brick?
I've started. Be careful because it's heavy.
Okay.
And it's very valuable, James.
Okay. Oh, crikey. Okay.
Can you guess what it is yet?
Well, it's heavy.
Is it an Etch-a-Sketch?
Oh, hello.
Ooh. What have we got in there, James?
Well, it's a Transformers something or other.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, read along books with the cassette tapes to match. That's lovely.
Oh.
There we go. So I've got She-Ra, obviously, and Masters of the Universe. Lovely. Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course. Back to the Future. The A-Team. You Lose, Snake Eyes. Rambo, First Blood Part 2. Howard the Duck. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Young Sherlock Holmes. God, that was shit. A-Team. A-Team.
Another A-Team again.
Bugs in the Box, though. It's a different one, mate. Don't judge it. Biggles, that was rubbish. Gremlins, of course. And then looks like all the Star Wars. Oh, that's lovely, mate. These were great, weren't they? Because I remember them vaguely, these little tape players, sort of. They were like the read-along audio book things, weren't they?
It would be a thing to put on for your kids to get them off to sleep, basically.
Yeah, or you'd go... when I was a kid, I used to go to like Central Library in Portsmouth Guildhall Square, and you just sort of watch old people having to wander about the tape players that were all on
those
rows.
Old people are us, James.
That's
those
us
old
now,
people are us.
I know, and we're listening to audiobooks, aren't we, instead, on the old...
podcast like this shit.
Podcast, yeah. Lovely. But you wouldn't play them on a Walkman. I remember them being on like my granddad's brick with a carrier at the top, and all those... The buttons were across there, and the speaker was in the... It was like a rectangular sort of house brick of a tape player.
The big batteries as well, because nothing was rechargeable rechargeable then, was it?
No, massive. Do you remember those massive batteries with the springs on the top?
Yes.
Shit. I always remember, like, they came in torches, and you drop them in.
Varta, that's the one, yes.
The what? What were they?
Varta batteries.
Varta, yeah.
Varta batteries, yeah.
Were they? That sounds dangerous. Oh, okay. Right.
Okay.
What do you mean on the railway? Oh, I see, yeah. Right, I see. I just remember them because a lot of torches were like black rubber, weren't they? All the way up this sharp, and you drop it in, and they go boom. Screw the bloody thing on like a thermos.
Yes,
on it.
Yes, and I always remember that if you had a bicycle.
Yeah.
The lights were always absolutely rubbish on those. You look at the lights you got now. If you're driving a car and you can't bloody see anything at all,
and they got the flashing like a
somebody
bloody disco
towards you, but then it was like you got a little tiny little faint glow
or a dynamo light.
which was great when you're going along, but obviously when you stopped and you're at most risk of death from somebody coming into you, not a sausage.
Not a sausage.
Not a sausage.
Doesn't work either, does it? Use a sausage.
But
you can see them though, can't you? When you're following cyclists in their lycra, you can see the sausage. There is a sausage.
There is. James, anyway. I don't make it a habit of checking out the sausages.
Oh, that's the only joy I get from cyclists. Behind them on a country lane. I just stay there for an hour. Just like, this is lovely. This is just what I wanted on a trip out.
So for those of you that have not seen the podcast before, James is excellent at painting mental pictures.
I've got photos.
So, right. Yes.
Did you want to do this, or have you got stuff you want to work through?
Well, we've got other stuff. We've got other bits and pieces. Because we're slowly but surely we're working our through these fantastic Christmas movies.
Very Christmassy.
So far, we've had one about killing in Vietnam.
Yep.
We've had another one about somebody getting killed in a boxing match.
Oh, let's have warm.
Let's have a look and see how festive the next one is.
Number 8.
Here we go. Number 8.
Okay.
Billy Pelser has a nice home.
Oh.
A nice job. A nice girl. And loving parents who are about to give him...
You're going to like this. No, don't shake it. We're going to have to open it now. It won't wait till Christmas.
The most unusual gift he ever got.
What is it? No.
It's your new pet.
Come on, Barney, be a good dog. My dad gave it to me.
But there are a few things to keep in mind. If you expose it to the light, you may hurt it. If you get it wet, it will multiply.
All that from water? They got wet?
Yeah, plain water.
And most important, no matter how much they beg, never let them eat. After midnight, Gremlins, directed by Joe Dante. They'll be expecting you.
It used to scare the bejesus out of me, that film.
I'm going to give you that. As a Christmas movie.
Well, you suggested it last year, and I didn't think so. And something in my memory had forgotten all about the fact that he was a Christmas gift, and it was all festive and Christmas lights everywhere and all sorts. But yeah, it is obviously based around Christmas, and he is a Christmas gift, isn't he?
Definitely. And the thing is, as well, I love the fact that they say that what you must never do is feed them water, and first thing you do is going to get them wet, and feed them. Carnage ensues.
Yeah, we all know it's dangerous to eat after midnight anyway now.
Definitely.
I just can't sleep anymore. It's just wind.
It's even worse if you drink after midnight, James. There's not a chance of an uninterrupted night's sleep. Not a chance.
Up 4 times.
Yeah, so far we're doing pretty well here, actually. We go, what's this, half an hour? Nobody's needed to...
I know.
Nobody's needed to go there.
A few people's bags are nearly full.
Just sit there and, yes.
Doesn't matter, does it?
No.
This podcast sponsored by Tenor.
So that was Gremlins in at number 8.
Yeah, when was that?
That 84? Was 80-something, James. You're asking me a question. I don't... Hopefully it's somewhere in the 80s.
I think it was 84.
But that's another one of those ones that comes around every Christmas on TV now.
It's got to. Yeah, I think it's a late afternoon jobby, isn't it, on Christmas Day?
Yeah. I wonder how many people are actually going to be watching whatever we're served up on TV now, because I think we're all getting into the habit of watching what we want when we want to watch it, rather than going through the Radio Times as we used to.
Marking it, circulate.
Get the Radio Times, you get the Christmas issue, and you would go round with a highlighter or a biro, and everybody would be circling what they want, and then you'd be programming the video if there was a clash going on.
And Morecambe and Wise would be on when they were the Christmas special, and whatever it might be. Yeah,
and they were getting like 20 million people watching, weren't they, on a Christmas day?
There was about 2.5 channels back then, mate. There was nothing else to do.
But I think it was nice that we were all watching. Much as it's nice to watch what we want to watch when we want to watch it now. Then it was because we all had to watch the same thing at the same time. Yeah. It was nice that it was almost like a shared experience, and I don't think you get that so much now.
No, you can't, and you can't go into work anymore on a Monday and start talking about something because you've binge watched it and they've watched 2 episodes, and you're like, la la la. You can't get in and talk to your work colleagues, and that's my excuse. Just don't bother now. There's nothing to talk about. I've seen it all. Fuck off.
But that is the thing, isn't it? Because it's weird how the human mind works. Because if we were to say there's a new film out, but it's 10 hours long, shall we go and see it? We would not go and see it.
No.
But if it's a series of 10 one-hour episodes, you say, I'm going to binge watch that. Yeah. I'm going to lose a whole day to that.
But I did get used to get really annoyed when they used to give you that little update at the beginning of every episode to remind you of what's happened before. But now I bloody need it.
That.
I need it. I'm just like, what are we watching? I don't even know what this show is. Oh, I get it now. I remember. We watched it an hour ago. Yeah, I know. I've had a wee since then.
I'll tell you what I do love now as well about being able to watch stuff on demand is the fact that you can choose to have the subtitles on for everything.
Right.
Am I the only one who just watches everything with subtitles on all the time? See, everybody... And I was talking about this on the radio the other day, and I thought to myself, I'm not deaf, but I like to have the subtitles on because everybody's always mumbling. But it turns out they're not mumbling, and I probably am going deaf. But I love the big subtitles.
I just find myself watching the subtitles, though.
Yeah, no, I love the subtitles.
Film.
Big fan of the subtitles.
I know what to get you next Christmas.
Yes. Right, for those who've never seen the podcast before, a part of the podcast is a surprise in every episode.
Right.
We call it this.
James's special lunchbox surprise.
And I have got a surprise for you in my lunchbox. And this is thank you.
Not what I want, James.
Now, what everybody's got a little bag of sweets, and so what we've got is we've got half of them here. So when we're going to eat what's in ours. We'll tell you what's in ours, and we'll eat them at the same time. And we're going to have a little think throughout the show. And at the end of the show, we're going to rate them as to whether they taste like you remember them. Don't eat them yet. We're going to have a little... Andy's going to tell us which ones he's going to eat, and we're going to have a little think, because they're all ones from our childhood.
I'm going with this one.
You've got your fizzy cola bottle.
I've got the fizzy cola bottle.
Okay. So... and at the end of the show, we've got a little whiteboard here hidden away, and we're going to just rate them as to whether we think that they taste the same as they used to, or whether they're absolute shit like some of them are over the last year or two.
Some of them have changed.
You just eat them like that. We had Hubba Bubba last episode, and it was nothing like.
Nothing like it at all.
Nothing. But anyway, let's have a fizzy cola bottle, and let's have a think about
all together with a fizzy cola.
Yeah.
By the way, has anybody got any allergies?
We were asked that before we even went into the restaurant, before we walked in the door.
You're right.
Yeah, that is sharp, isn't it?
That is a sharp one. So, just a little show of hands. Do we think it's changed, or do we think it's the same?
What are we showing the hands for?
Show the hands to say they think it's the same. No, it's about half.
Or thereabouts.
Thereabouts.
Who thinks it's changed then? Right.
No,
okay,
nobody.
Yeah.
No, okay. So, yeah, it's
I think we're close
about the same. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We go into the movie next one? What are you going to have next?
Let's do one more.
That's not in it. I think you might... Oh, yeah, right. Go on. We haven't got it in ours.
We've not got flying saucer.
What are you going for?
I've
opal
got...
fruit.
It looks like an opal fruit, yes.
Okay, opal fruit. And most of you will actually notice on the wrapper it does say opal fruit on your one. Yeah, some of them say Starburst, I'm afraid, but it's most of them have got opal fruit written on there because they have started calling them that again, which is lovely. Made to
My
make
one says Starburst, James, I'm afraid.
Yours says Starburst? Yeah. Oh.
But we know they are actually opal fruit. So, taste test.
Yeah. They're all different flavours, but... Yeah. That might be our fingers.
That's good. Good and tangy.
Yeah, that's very similar for me. I never liked the blackberry, blackcurrant one, but it was nice.
Yeah, I think I just had.
Are you going to eat the rest? Or are we going to?
No, we're going to carry on, James. We'll save those for a minute, yeah?
Okay, yeah. So what do we think on that one? Is it?
Yeah, so show of hands if you think it tastes the same as it always did. Yeah, and a show of hands if you think it tastes totally different. There's one or two things.
Yeah, I think it's the same-ish. Not as fruity. What flavour did you have? What flavour did you have? Strawberry. Okay, yeah, they were all quite strong, weren't they?
I had the lime, and I thought the lime was good. Yeah. I love just the general rustling.
Yes, they're all having a little think. So we're going to come back to the remainder in this episode and the next episode. So join us for that one.
Join us later for that one as well. So that was our little lunchbox surprise. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a very quick ad break. So here come 3 adverts, and I just want you to go, if you remember these people and these adverts. Here we go, 3 in a row for you. They're only short ones.
Your Christmas and New Year TV Times magazine has 164 pages packed with details of 14 days programs on ITV. On sale now.
I'm Bernard Matthews, and I believe this is the juiciest, tenderest turkey you can give your family this Christmas. Golden Norfolk from Matthews Norfolk Farms. Beautiful.
Davy and the children. Nice. Betty and Stan, remember? Arthur's chums. Arthur? Whatever happened to Arthur?
Remember all your friends this Christmas and get the most from your post.
I can't afford to remember all my friends.
Do you know what? £1.65.
It's more. You got Card Factory. You could get like 10 cards for a couple of quid or something.
Yeah.
I could buy a card. I can't afford to bloody spend it.
Is there anybody who still actually posts a Christmas card to anybody?
Oh, look at all these rich folk.
Look at these people.
I think we've got some money in the room, Andy.
These are the Waitrose shoppers.
Yeah, £5 on a cucumber, £1.65 to post a card. I worked out, actually, if I wanted to send my 50 Christmas cards around England, I could do it cheaper driving the bloody
deliver
card
them by
to
hand.
them. Yeah, actually driving it to them. Well, it's,
it'd be over 100 quid, wouldn't it? Over 100 quid to send 50 cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a reason to unfriend people on Facebook, isn't it? It's just like, I can't afford to send you a card, mate. We'll have to leave it.
But they were also, that was just when the postcodes had come in, they were saying always remember to use the postcodes.
Was it?
I mean, the postcodes have been there, but they hadn't been compulsory, and at the end of that it says remember to use the postcode.
You could just put Barry Denmead and it would have got there in the 70s, but in the 80s, no.
Isn't it funny though that that was the only way of staying in touch with people, and those people in that advert who we think look really old, probably
37.
Oh, 37 years old.
People of our age and everybody here, we were depicted in TV with cardigans and brogues and slippers and hot water bottles.
Not looking cool in our sketches and
cool dudes in our Christmas jumpers. Oh dear, yeah. It was amazing, isn't it?
It was. Royal Mail was the thing to send, and you would quite often be sending if you had relatives of children or whatever, you would send some money through the post, wouldn't you, as well? There's none of this sending it through on an app or anything.
PayPal,
and we wonder how much of that money actually made it through to the other end.
Bloody robbing posties.
I think it was always a thing, because I always used to think if you put a pound note in and then you folded it in a piece of paper and in a piece of paper, then you might get away with that.
They'd
but if it's an obvious coin, then they're going to know.
Your nan sellotaped 5 20 pences to the inside of the Christmas card to make it look like you got a lot more. You open it and go, whoa! It's like 10 curly whirlies.
But the thing is, though, pocket money was. You had to spend much more wisely, I think. I think kids perhaps have a little bit more disposable income now than they did back then. So you would have to spend very, very wisely. Yeah. And I remember going into the shop and spending a good amount of time deliberating over what particular sweets I was going to get. Yeah. Whereas now, you just go into the supermarket and you get your family pack of whatever.
Yeah.
It's different
spoiled,
times.
Mate, aren't they? Hey, kids, they don't know they've been born.
Definitely. So the old Bernard Matthews beautiful turkey. I did hear a nice chorus of beautiful, which is the sign of a good TV.
Wasn't there some sort of hubbub about him before he croaked it? Something happened. Was it around his farms?
I think
something with his turkeys. Not doing something with his turkeys. They taste lovely, don't they? Yes. Get off them, Bernard.
It's the special sauce. But I think
it's particularly juicy, this one. Okay.
No, I think there was a James, no. I think there was a.
Bit for me, thank
there
you.
was. You've been cancelled, James. I think there was there was a bit of fuss, wasn't there? Where
Something happened.
They were saying that the turkeys were perhaps, these battery turkeys were not perhaps brought up in the best of conditions at the time. I think
nothing to do with gobbling. Okay. Well, we understand. I got the wrong end of the stick totally, mate. I went searching online. You won't believe what I saw, but it's okay. I remember
on a work computer as well, James. On a work computer as well. So we're working our way slowly but surely through the Christmas movies. Some of them have been pretty festive.
Thank you.
Some of them, I would say, have been interesting choices, James.
Correct.
So we have got to number 7 now, James. Well done. Well done. See if this fits the bill as a Christmas movie.
Got him.
Sorry about that, man. Help! I don't want your bag, man.
Get him away! I'll bet that man could run our company as well as Winthorpe.
This is outrageous. I haven't done anything wrong. I'm not a thief.
We want to help you, Mr. Valentine, with a home of your own.
And that was a fake, right?
We paid $35,000 for it, and employment with our company.
You are making a career decision here.
This man is physically threatening me.
He's being driven around in my car.
He could be living in my house.
Hey! Have you people ever heard of toasters?
You're a dead man, Valentine!
It was produced.
100%. 100%.
Very festive.
Very good. And it's one of those ones that does stand the test of time as well.
Yeah, it treads a very fine line, doesn't it? Certainly with Eddie Murphy and the white rich folks. But some great scenes in there with Jamie Lee Curtis, particularly.
Yes.
And
she was in everything in the 80s, wasn't she?
Out of everything.
Yes.
Yeah, she's definitely, So, great. I mean, that was the time when obviously, I can't even remember his name now.
Eddie Murphy.
No, Ghostbusters dude. Dan Aykroyd. That's it. They were at their height with Beverly Hills Cop and Ghostbusters and everything. And in that film, it was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And great concept as well. I loved that film. Very funny.
I love it when it comes on, when they show these Eddie Murphy movies on TV and they show the edited versions. And it's like, get the flip out of here. It's just your Mother completely... Your Mother Hubbard. Yeah, it's completely changed.
Yeah, it's good.
That's
the language we use.
All the time.
All the time, yes.
Nobody's walked out yet, James, so I would see that as A, it's impressive that nobody's needed a wee break, and B, it's impressive that nobody's been offended just yet.
Nobody's offended in this lot.
Even when Jimmy Savile came out.
Yeah, I know.
So
some of them applauded. When he came out. I don't think that's it. Special guest. Just wheel him out. Here he is. Next episode, here's Gary. Oh dear.
So is it time for another sweet?
Yeah, go on in. Yeah. You're going to pick which one it is. You pick. We've got 2 left in our one.
I'm picking the Love Heart.
Love Heart, lovely. What does yours say on it, mate?
Mine says New Love.
New Love.
New Love.
Mine says Be Kind.
Anyone else got a good one?
They've changed. Some of the words on them are a little bit predatory, I'll be honest with you. I've had a little look on some of them. It's like, what?
What you got? Like that. Hold it like that.
Oh dear, yeah.
Again, tangy.
They're lovely.
I think the theme with these ones is they're all very tangy.
Yeah, a lot of taste. I remember them being a little bit more chalky than that, to be honest.
Yeah. That's not bad. So again, show of hands. Do they taste the same as they did? I'm saying yes.
Yeah, mostly saying yes.
And who thinks they've changed? Who says they've changed?
I think there's more people thinking they've changed.
There's 1, 2, 3 or 4.
Well, some people are abstaining. Controversial.
Yeah. They're definitely not as chalky as
they
you
used to
say.
Be a little bit more chalky around the teeth. But it still tastes the same, I think. Yeah, lovely.
Definitely.
What have we got next?
So, right, we've got another movie as we slowly but surely work our way through these. So we've done Trading Places, which definitely did make the cut as a proper Christmas movie.
Yep.
And this one, I think you'll agree, probably will as well.
Okay.
Number 6.
First you delay me, then you bump me. I can't wait to see what happens next. I'm going home for Thanksgiving. I can help get you home.
diners, pizza, and a gasoline card. Have mercy. I've been wearing the same underwear since Tuesday. I can vouch for that.
Genius.
John Candy, what a loss. He was just an incredible comedy actor, wasn't he?
He was just brilliant, yeah. And he was always like a supporting role, wasn't he? He was never the lead as such, but he was just brilliant.
I love the scene where I can't find his car, or his car's gone or something, and he goes up and he's effing and blinded to the woman behind the counter, and she just looks at him and goes, "Well, you're all fucked." And I just say, but they edit that out.
Yeah.
Take out that bit now. Yeah. It's just nonsense. But
everything's taken out now.
Yeah, I know, all the good stuff, all the E numbers, everything's gone. not in that love heart though. Lovely.
So still to come, we're nearly at the end of part one of our thing. So this is, if you're watching this as a podcast, this is nearly the end of this episode. We've got one more movie, one more TV ad to come. Okay. For those of you who are here, that means there is a chance for you to get up, stretch your legs, go and have a wee, and have a little drink at the bar as well.
Can I just show you a couple of things that we would have been given as gifts, quite well prized gifts on Christmas Day as kids?
I would love to see that. Let's go on then, James.
I've got the prized Now That's What I Call Music and Now That's What I Call Music 2 double cassette. I mean, this would put a smile on any kid's face because probably got all the lyrics. I'm not sure, but it's in fact it won't have all the lyrics. Of course it won't, because it's far too much. But it's far too many tracks on here. But a double cassette was like, that was like, what? This is magic. Obviously Now That's What I Call Music 1 and 2. Very prized on cassette.
That was worth a fortune, James.
Yeah, I know. My wife's in the audience. Can you shut up? We don't want to talk about anything of value, please. I've got other music here that's probably more to your taste, because I know you're into your music, Andy. Allegedly. So we've got... I've got Chaz and Dave's Christmas Jamboree bag. It's only $1.99 for that whole album, mate. So feel free to take that back.
As advertised on TV on the Warwick record label.
Well, you know that, of course. You know that.
Famous.
This is a picture. It's a lovely little thing of "Do You Know It's Christmas?" There you go. And this is probably more. I know you're into this sort of stuff. This is the music of Torval and Dean. So there we go. All right. Did you? Oh dear. Obviously, the classic Cliff Richard Mistletoe and Wine. There you go. We've got Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, Mel and Kim comic relief special. Merry Christmas, everybody, with the sleigh. Do They Know It's Christmas? Band-Aid 2.
Oh
wow, 1989. You got Bananarama, Big Fun, Bros, Kathy Dennis, D-Mob. Glenn Goldsmith. Who was Glenn Goldsmith?
He was an American soul singer.
The Pasadena. Yes. Chris Rio, God bless him. Lisa Stansfield, Technotronics, Wet Wet Wet, Jimmy Somerville, the Pasadenas, Kylie Minogue, and Cliff Richard. Wow. Okay. And they've got, what they've got is on side 1, the classic, Do They Know It's Christmas? Side 2, Do They Know It's Christmas? Instrumental. So you can pretend to be the Pasadenas in your bedroom. And this one, Wonderful Christmas Time, Paul McCartney, classic.
Love it.
Lovely.
Absolutely
so
love
you
it.
can play them to your heart's content Christmas Day. A little bit of music, and maybe play them on the radio one night, maybe.
Maybe I will do, James.
You should.
Maybe I will do.
Have you got a cassette player?
A cassette player. I've got one in the car.
Have you?
I've got one in the car,
Well,
James.
you're driving a Cortina.
There's nothing wrong with having an old car.
GL.
A classic.
You've got headrests and everything.
Headrests. Got window winders.
Yeah. Rear seatbelts.
Everything. No rear seatbelts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Fuck them.
Don't be ridiculous. Yeah, cigarette lighter.
I always think it's wonderful when they made you wear seatbelts in the front for the parents.
Only in the front. Yeah.
Don't worry about the kids.
They had to phase it. They had to phase it in gently, didn't they?
Did they?
First of all, they were saying, you know, if you look at the timescale of this, first of all, don't stop driving when you're pissed.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that happened.
Crazy rule.
And then it was, what was it, 5? Up until then it was 5 and drive.
5 and drive, yeah,
5 and
of course.
drive. Then they said the seatbelts in the front.
For the parents.
For the parents. Kids can just
fly through. Yeah.
Thing is, I remember...
Parents are safe. The kids are up there somewhere.
I remember my friend's mum and dad had an estate car, and they would take us to school sometimes, and we would just pile loose
in the boot,
in the back of the car, just looking, waving at the cars behind.
The back seat, Moonies out the back window.
Oh dear.
And obviously, the height of security and safety, just in case the police saw you, put them in the boot, blanket over the kids.
Yes.
That's safer then. That's a soft landing then, isn't it? Soft landing. Yeah. And obviously, when they brought in to look after the kids and protect the kids with the seat belts, who did they do for the Clunk Click adverts?
Oh my God, yes.
He wants them to live longer, doesn't he? So it's ridiculous, isn't it? What they picked him for? They all knew. Anyway,
he was in everything, wasn't he? Yeah. He was in everything. Right, one more.
He was in everything.
Oh dear,
Andy, I'm trying to keep a sense of decorum in this podcast, mate, and you're coming out with your filth.
Final Christmas movie of this episode. Here we go. This is James's number 5.
The magic happens again.
Merry Christmas! It certainly should be.
Until now.
What are you? I'm an elf. An elf? Yes.
Now someone wants to take the magic out of Christmas.
We say, bigger, better. It's going to cost you.
Cost? Cost who?
The people who buy the toy.
Well, nothing. We're going to give them away free.
For free?
Well, that's how we do it at the North Pole.
Well, that's not how we do it here. Santa Claus is finished.
I just wanted him to see what a good assistant I could be.
Only one man can stop him. Only one man can help us. And he's coming to take you for a sleigh ride in the stars. Dudley Moore and John Lithgow. Santa Claus, the movie. Seeing is believing.
He was a great Santa, wasn't he? He was a really great Santa. And I remember watching that as a kid thinking those effects are crazy. Unbelievable. Look at that. It looks like he's really flying. And he just looks utter shit. It's amazing. Isn't it?
Would there have been computers then? Would that have been CGI? Or was that all...
wouldn't be, no, I don't think it would be computer generated as such, but there certainly would be superimposing and all sorts of going on.
Superimposing, yes. So they weren't actually really flying, spoiler alert.
They weren't flying, no. Just in case there's anybody under 50 in. The few that are. Oh, dear.
We got one more TV advert as well, and again this is from a well-known brand that is still around now, but I want you to pay particular attention to the prices on some of these things from the 1980s and work it out in your head what they would be now.
Dixon's unbeatable Christmas deals. This superb quality Seisho portable stereo, incredible value at under £30. Save £100 on the Minolta 7000 camera outfit with autofocus zoom lens. Save £30 on this Yamaha stereo keyboard with synthesizer plus free headphones. Save £44 on this Canon Type Star electronic typewriter.
Get a free calculator though for your £100.
You can't buy better.
It's some of the prices when you times them by 4 or 5, which it should be.
Well, that camera was at, what was it, 499?
It was reduced from 589.
Yeah, so five times. That's a lot of money.
It's $2,500 for a camera.
For a camera.
I mean, technology prices are now so much cheaper. Things have gone up, like chocolate bars and all these sorts of things. But when you get to the high ticket items, a lot of it
have come down.
Really come down. I don't think Dixon's is about anymore, is it? It's all Curry's, isn't it? Comet.
Dixon's
not even Comet, just Curry's.
Shows how long it is since I've been in there, isn't it?
It didn't really matter though, did it? What stuff cost back then? Because I've got one of these, which was always. You didn't have to have money in your bank. Just put it there. Oh, can you just write your check details on there in case it bounces? Yeah, if you want. For what it's worth. Yeah, I love that.
It just seems incredible that was the security. That was it, and that was, you just have to sign your name.
Yeah,
and that's it. Yeah, that's guaranteed. No problem at all. There.
See you later. Yeah.
Interesting times.
£499 on a camera. See ya.
One of my wives used to work
different world back then,
used to work in a record shop, and they were, if they had a gut feeling that somebody had a stolen card, they used to have to go behind, phone a special number, and report it through. But I think she would get 50 quid for if it turned out to be stolen. You get 50 quid. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was how they caught the cyber criminals.
Yeah, great, big money.
Yes, I remember my first house, James, buying my first house. 20 change from 25 grand.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crazy. What would you get for 25 grand now? Half a garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
E-scooter.
So, So we're nearly at the end of this part. So we thought at the moment, if anybody's got anything that's been sparked their imagination, you got any memories or anything that you think we might have missed. Have we missed anything? Please shout out if there's anything that you think that we haven't touched upon.
Or any questions. Or
any questions or anything like that at all. Manual choke in a car.
Definitely.
Yes.
Always the reason you crashed. Trying to juggle with that. Trying to get that whilst you're changing a channel.
It was always, that was where the mum used to hang her handbag, on the manual choke on the car. Never. Who knows what the choke actually did? What is the choke
loads more
for?
fuel in.
Is that what it did?
Well, my son, hard to believe, my youngest son drives a 40-year-old Talbot Horizon. It's one of the last ones on the road, and I know fucking why, because it's rusting to shit. It's disintegrating before our eyes as he drives up the road. But that's got a choke on it, and he pulls it out in the morning, and if I'm in the garage behind him, I'm nearly choking to death.
Chance.
No,
Not
it's
a chance.
pouring smoke. It's cost about $5 every time he starts it, I think. But yeah, the choke. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it comes out about 3 inches, and the joke. Stop it. You stop it. It's cold. Shut up. Okay. It's a cold start for me. That
has reminded me with cars.
Doesn't make anyone joke. Stop it. Okay.
None of your choking jokes, James.
No thanks. No.
But do you remember you could get rear heated windows as an add-on for your car? Be like a plastic thing that you would have to try to.
Oh, I see.
But do you remember?
You could stick it on.
You'd stick it on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then a little wire coming round.
Then you'd have to get it wired in.
Nothing wrong with that on a steamy wet window, is there? Just loads of cables and wires. Works perfectly. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and a rear windscreen wiper was an optional extra. If you had a luxury, if you had a 1.1L Fiesta, you got a rear windscreen wiper.
No, different times. But any more, or is everybody desperate for a wee now? Desperate for a wee now. Listen, we're going to come back in a couple of minutes. If you're watching this on the on the podcast, this is the end of this episode. We'll say goodbye, and we will see you next Tuesday, which I think is going to be Christmas Eve when this one comes out. So we'll see you for that one. For everyone here, thank you for watching. Go and have a little drink. Go and have a wee, and we'll be serving ice creams out in the foyer.
Thanks for listening to this week's edition. We'd love it if you could subscribe in your favourite podcast app, and don't forget there's a video version on YouTube too. You can contact us using the links in the show notes and on the YouTube channel, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Bring Back the 80s.